Hello everyone, Wowachkonda here, and in this short video I decided to describe the places that I visited, but maybe my visit was too short or I don't really have much to say about the place because I probably haven't described it well. And today I would like to really talk about the Dutch nature. Place that I would like to describe is the forest close to Leersum, and I think it's located basically in Utrecht. Utrecht is one of the provinces in the Netherlands, and there are a bunch of them, and I think Utrecht is also a city, and it is the main city of the province called Utrecht as well. So, I think Netherlands is really famous for its plains, it's really flat, and everybody's just making jokes on how flat it is, and the people here probably have never seen the mountains in their lives sometimes. Which is partially true, and I think you all guys know that the Netherlands is pretty much located um, beneath the sea level, and that's why back in the days there was this huge dam built in order to protect the land from the sea. And I think because of that, people uh, maybe would still really think of the whole Netherlands as really just plain landscape with mainly just the plains. But actually, I've never really thought about it myself. Um, there are a bunch of big, like forest reservations, and I think one of them is called Biesbos. That is located is also South Holland, somewhere in the direction of Dordrecht. I personally haven't really visited forests a lot, and it was really interesting to me to, get this kind of nostalgic feeling because I think my biggest contact with the nature was mainly in the age of my early teens when I maybe was like up to 14 when I was going usually to visit my grandpa in the village during the summer, and that's where I usually would have this exposure to nature, visiting certain, going hiking, going to small forests. We never had like a huge forest in the area where I'm from. So I think my first actual encounter with the forest happened in the age of 14 when I went to the north of Ukraine. And that was something quite different from what I usually experience because the forests in basically east of Ukraine, there are not so many big forests there. And it's really, the whole Leersum forest situation really gave me the flashbacks of that really nice time that I spent back in my teens. And I personally also notice how the landscape is also different, and the combination of kind of a swamp together with a huge pond, and there was like basin there as well, and it's far. The forest itself is, I mean, it's hard to come up with something really creative to say about the forest, but I think the whole goal of why we even went on that short trip was to do a great bird spotting event that we did at my job, the bitbird. So we decided to collect the colleagues of mine who decided to participate. We also met with a bunch of fans. I think there were also some artists who also decided to check in on that and take a look around. And we had the guide who was helping us with the bird spotting. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't the nicest as it was raining a bit, so and most of the birds were just hiding somewhere. So we didn't really manage to see much. And I think what we really ended up doing, we were really just spotting a lot of different mushrooms around, and well, it was at least something. Um, Still, I really felt like the whole trip and the whole idea of going back to the nature at some point of a time, especially when most of the time we spend really in these concrete jungles right now. It really drains the energy out of you, and you're losing the connection with your inner self, with your um, with our natural habitat, which essentially was the nature. So I never really before in my life I would have never really thought about how important it was to actually go into the nature and trying to spend some time there and maybe get some basically get some energy. I thought it was just the words when people were just saying that until I actually changed my perception of these kind of holidays and what kind of energy I can actually take from it. And, back at that time, the weather wasn't the nicest, but still, it was really cool to see that even though it's still the forest, it's kind of different. I think this is really important to remember for everyone, just to try to spend some time in the nature. Like I know a lot of people who are not big fans of camping or sleeping in the mud on the wet ground, which is usually not a pleasant experience with all the insects being around. But I think just even going for a short hike somewhere in the nature really will help you, and you're gonna be fully recharged, and this energy will definitely help you to move further with your life. And of course, it's just a nice experience and a nice time that you can spend with your friends. So if you ever will be around in the Netherlands, and especially if you be around like in the province of Utrecht, I don't think it's the most convenient way if you're not in the car to get to the forest. But still, it is possible you'll need to switch between train and bus. So yeah, I think you'll definitely enjoy the place. There is a lot to discover. There is quite a huge territory, huge area for that specific forest, that specific reserve. So definitely my recommendation to go and check this out, because sometimes you just get tired of just experiencing the same type of holiday, of going to certain places and cities and see the things that are still repetitive. And I think the nature itself is, of course, you would argue, it's probably even more repetitive as well. We all know, we all see those trees everywhere. This is not something unique, but sometimes it's nice to just switch around and just enjoy your time in the nature. Thank you very much for listening, and I wish you a very pleasant